Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am, of course, HardyF1, and welcome back to Side by Side Racing Series Season 6 Preseason Showdown event here in Jeddah in Saudi Arabia, of course. We've got 16 drivers tonight, including a few reserves and a couple of new faces as well. And it's great to be back on track and back in the action, of course, after a couple of weeks break since the end of Season 5, when Jesper was crowned champion, of course, in a great battle to the end between him and Yonti. So tonight then we have got the likes of HardyF1 coming in as well for a nice little drive. He decided he wants to race tonight, so we'll see how well he can do tonight. Of course, we do have our regular returnees with Ben Mills. Safso is back racing with his brand new wheel as well. We also have our new reserves of Tapsto as well, so it'll be interesting to see where their pace is and see how well these guys are going to do. We have Tapso, Ecos Dragon, and I believe we have another one. Yes, we do. Sniffy Planet are the 3 new reserves for this season. And we'll definitely want to see how well they can do and see if they can cut the grade with Season 6 with the pace of our drivers. So, of course, Jeddah then, a brand new track for Formula 1 and a brand new track for us. I'm yet to turn a wheel on this track myself, but I expect the times to be in the 126s to 127s or so. So expect the times to be coming quick and fast here. Of course, it's only me in the commentary box tonight, unfortunately. So it's going to be a little bit tricky, a little bit hectic, but hey, that's SXS and that's how it works. So we're going to go on board then with Maku Gaming then on his outlap, just getting the car ready. So, of course, these teams and drivers, a lot of them do know each other. They have raced in multiple seasons. But we have had a shake-up with the teams. We did allow the drivers to pick their teammates. So we're going to just stay with Maku then as he starts his flying lap. And we'll see if he can get a nice turn 1. Gets the apex nice and gets a really good directional change there. A little bit cautious on the exit. Doesn't want to invalidate and wants to get that banker lap set. So yes, we have Maku finally reunited with Safso, and he's invalidated. Oh, that is such a shame for Maku. Let's go on board with Krista then, and Krista's actually invalidated as well. That's why with a new track is we're going to see a lot of invalidations, especially as the drivers start to learn this track a bit more. They have had about a week or so to practice since we announced that it was going to be Jeddah for the Shakedown event, but you've got to be so close here on the limit. Of course, we are running strict rules throughout the entire season. Nothing has changed there since Season 5, so drivers know that they have to be absolutely precise and have to avoid going over the track limits if they want to set a competitive lap time. So then Ben Mills looked very fast in the last season, of course, ex-Shazoo racer as well, so we know he's got the pace and potential to really have a strong Season 6. So he's trying to get a really good middle sector here, so we'll see he's carrying so much speed. And it's going to look like it's going to be a very interesting track, especially for overtakes, especially in these DRS zones. We'll see as he's just gliding the car nice and smoothly, actually. Nice traction, good control of the directional change as well. The car looks really balanced and really well set up. So we can see him now coming into the sector 3 then, so he's coming towards the last turn, and we'll see him now brake at the 50 metres board or so, and just look how nice and neatly that car turns in for him on demand, no hesitation with the throttle, straight back on the power. So we're going to see his lap time now as he comes across the line, and it's a 1:27.1 for the rest to aim for. So that is a great lap time there from Ben Mills. So we're going on board with Rage. He just clips the wall actually slightly coming into turn 2. And we have a yellow flag in sector 3. And that is cleared up. There's only a momentary brief little flash of the yellow flag. So it's great to see Rage as well actually having a go as well with his new DD wheel as well. So it'll be interesting to see if he can survive Jeddah and how narrow it is. That is the one thing that does get you. It is a very narrow track actually, considering it is going to be this brand new track for racing for Formula 1. So as we saw then, Ben Mills broke about the 50 metres or so, and Rage gets a really good entry into the corner and actually gets a really decent exit as well, has to be said. So Rusty's then on a 130, and Taps on a 132. They're going to have to definitely improve. And Rage on a 133. His last sector looked okay, but he's going to have to find some time somewhere. As Jaxie goes into P2 actually on a 130.8. Great lap time from Jaxie. And Safso a 131.2. So we do expect them to go a bit faster later in the session. Of course, we've got 13 minutes left or so, so plenty of time. So these are just the banker laps that they're going to get in on the soft tyres. And of course, tyre strategy is going to be an unknown here because we have not really raced here, unless the drivers have done a previous race themselves. So we're not going to really know how well a tyre wear is going to manage, unfortunately, in the com box. So we do apologise for that. But it'd be interesting to see if some drivers do take the mediums at the start. And Torda puts himself into P3. End Andrews actually does a 128.5. It's a fantastic lap from End Andrews. Joined us midway through Season 5 last season and did show a lot of pace, but just couldn't get the results a lot due to unfortunate accidents. And so he's looking to start Season 6 with a great amount of confidence as he needs to get this in. So if he can get with on the front row with Ben, that's going to do him a world of wonders. Of course, this is a pre-season event, so the full Season 6 starts next week here on SXS Racing and on twitch.tv/RageF1. Sorry, Rage_F1 to be exact. So let's go on board with Liam then. Liam, ever the bridesmaid, can he become the bride tonight? As he now approaches 12 o'clock. He's actually invalidated. That is such a shame for Liam. But I'll tell you what, we'll stay on board with him because he's going to go for another lap here, I believe. So we'll see exactly when he breaks for turn 1 then. So coming up to turn 1, you want to flick the car to the left and then back to the right. And really gets a lot of good traction out of that corner as well, has to be said. Looking a lot, really dialed in for that first section. Just a bit like how we saw with Maku before. I love this track. It's just so twisting, so demanding. You're constantly on the throttle here. And you can just see how much confidence. Oh, he's invalidated once again. That shows you the margins these drivers are trying to aim for. It's such a shame to invalidate there, but of course, plenty of time to go again. So then we were right on board with Torza. Torza in P3, former champion, of course, Torza. So 128.8, definitely needs to find time to improve. And he might actually get a good little tow here from Big Boy Bill, but will this be enough to actually take him towards? No, he's pitting in the end, so he thinks better of it, and he's going to go again on a fresh set of tyres. And Andrew actually, interestingly, on 2-lap-old tyres here. So he's going to be down considerably, a little bit, on performance from the likes of Ben Mills. He's come out on a fresh set of soft tyres, so we'll wait for him to warm them up and see if he can get the temperature into the tyres. Let's ride on board then with Big Boy Bill, and we'll see how well he can handle his Alfa Romeo car tonight. As he comes through the twisty section of Sector 1. And a little bit hesitant, it seems, on the power. Just doesn't want to go for full throttle, of course, because if it's so easy to lose these cars and drop them. If you drop the car, that is a lap gone. So flicks the car into the left nicely, actually. Gets a nice smooth ride through there. And a great exit as well. Getting nice and close to the wall as well. So we see then, as he comes into the next bit, it's just the directional changes of the car is going to be really tested tonight. It's going to be a hard way. It's going to be a hard track for them to learn. Especially trying to keep the changes. So we have a yellow flag in Sector 1 for a Haas, I believe. That might be for Tapso, who's just come out of the pits. And it's actually him and his teammate, Rusty. So I think they're trying to work a tow or something, but it's just not quite going to plan. Maybe they're not sure who's going to get the tow first. I'm not too sure. But anyway, back to Big Boy Bill then. So again, coming towards the last corner, you want to stay to the right-hand side, brake around the 50 meters or so, and flick the car in and get a nice exit. It doesn't get as nice as we've seen before from the likes of Ben Mills. But this shouldn't hurt his time too much, but I don't think it's going to be the front row, but it could be a top 7. In fact, actually, it's a P3, so that is a great lap time for a 128.7. Great job there from the Alfa Romeo boys of Ent Andrews and Big Boy Bill. So we're going to go back with Ben Mills then. Our current pole sitter provisionally as he's approaching the last corner to start his next lap. We had a retirement as well, and Rusty's has a 5-place grid penalty for collision with Tapso. So the teammates then, I believe, have come together, and that is not what the Haas team needs. So we've got a full course yellow sector 1, 2, and 3. Now it's up to sector 2 and 3. So hopefully this won't impact Ben Mills' lap. But I mean, he's still doing a fantastic job to do a 127.1. Flicks the car through. Just incredible seeing how committed these drivers are. And how well they can control the car. Going through this track, brand new surface, not sure how the car balance is going to be and how the setup is going to work. And these guys definitely put in the practice, and you can see that they get rewarded a lot by practice. And perfect practice makes perfect, is what one of my teachers used to always say to me. And you can see that these drivers who commit so much time and energy and effort into SXS. Oh, and there's traffic in the way! Oh, and that has absolutely destroyed Ben Mills' time. There's traffic there who just didn't realise. I don't think City Planet or Big Boy Bill realised Ben was coming at a huge rate of knots, and that is his lap over, so that is a shame for Ben. But he will be able to get another chance at them. So then Frusty as well, he is back as a reserve again for Season 6. It's great to see the old Thrustmaster back himself. So he's going to be in the Williams tonight, so we'll see how he can control this car. I know it's not one of his favourite cars to drive. We'll see if he can still do a fantastic job here. So we really need to put the pressure on. But would he even cut up in the yellow flags? We're not sure. But I think he is, because this is definitely not going to be challenging anywhere near the top 1, 2 or 3. There's a 130 now and he's still not hit the line yet. So he's going to have to go again. And we'll see he's got about about just over half battery. It's a 135. So it's a P10 currently, but he definitely needs to improve. So then we'll go on board with Harv then. Harv, great to see him and Jaxie back as teammates in the McLaren boys. And Harv actually having a good end to Season 5. It was a little bit unlucky at times, and it was very unlucky with commentator's curse, so that is a shame there. Bill, I'm not too sure who was at fault with the incident with Ben. I'm not sure if it was you or Sniffy Planet, but it was unfortunate to say the least. I'm sure that the stewards could take a look at it if they want to take a look at it. If it gets reported, they will definitely note it. But it's not going to apply to anything for Season 6, but it could go for the license and penalty points. So we just have to be careful still with the pre-season race, but I'm sure that it will get dealt with after the race, of course. Because as I was saying then, Harv then was a little bit unlucky throughout Season 5. Various issues with internet and just desync and the commentator's curse, famously with Twin Barrel J. So we know he actually has a lot of great speed and a lot of talent here, and we just need to see it, just him unleash it. If his teammate Jaxie's up into P5, we know that Harv can be up there as well. So as he comes down to the last corner, commits so much more speed into that corner, brakes really late actually, and gets a really nice strong exit out of there. Straight back onto the DRS then as he approaches the line, and this will take Harv from P16 all the way to P5. He actually takes his teammate down by 1, so that is a great lap time of 1:30.3 for Harv. But still though, Ben Mills still remains a second ahead of Torza in P2. So who's going to challenge Ben Mills tonight for pole is going to be, seems a little bit too far for someone to reach him. But it's still not over yet. So we have a yellow flag set to 1 for the Mercedes of Torza, just allowing the traffic through. So that should clear up momentarily then. Let's go back on board with Safso then. Safso, Season 1 champion in side-by-side racing. If you're new here, Safso won our very first season, and it was a very good season as well. And he's invalidated. Oh, that is such a shame for Safso. He looked like he was on a really good lap as well. I mean, he is in P8, so he definitely needs to get himself into a rhythm, get himself back into this. So we'll go back on board then with Rage F1. Normally joins me in the commentary box, of course. We're going to put race interviews. There might be, it depends on how this race goes. And we will probably do some interviews afterwards. So if you want to be interviewed, of course, the rule is still simple. Just stay in the team voice chat and we will definitely come and speak to you at the end of the race. And Rage actually doing a really good job here. I don't think he's had a lot of time to practice as well. It's also his birthday today, so happy birthday to Rage F1. So he's definitely going to be having the time of his life out there. See him now approach the next sector and braking nice and late actually, but noticing carry a lot of speed through that middle part of the sector then. So sector 3 then, this is where we see traffic becoming the issue, but he will actually get a nice little toe off his teammate Torza, and will Torza move out of the way, or is Torza on his own lap? But Rage is coming on a huge rough rate and not, and Torza actually gives him a great toe there. That was how you do the toe. That is a bit of a masterstroke there from the Mercedes duo. So we'll see them, Rage now getting on the DRS, going through the gears, absolutely maxing out every bit he can. And I believe he did improve his time slightly, but still only good enough for P10, and that is a shame for Rage. And Rage will now get out of the way, not to hold up anyone else on track. So let's go back on board then with Liam. Once again, the bridesmaid himself. This time he needs not to invalidate. He's down in P14, and that is not where we normally see Liam, with only 4 minutes or so left on the clock. Trying to take a little bit of a toe there from the slow-moving Harv, who stays out of the way. You can just see how committed he is getting the exit. He gets so close to the wall. I'm pretty sure during the race we're going to see drivers bounce off these walls. So there's going to definitely be a safety car or two is what I reckon. But we have obviously gone through the rule book for Season 6, and we have looked at addressing some of the concerns that have been raised this week regarding safety car and issues. And that has been clarified a lot. So if there are penalties behind the safety car, it will be dealt with completely by the stewards. So it's good to see that we have managed to get that sorted. So then Liam, coming in sector 3 then, so as we've seen, you're going to have to stay to the right but carry so much speed, you're constantly on the throttle. So we'll see him now try and break around the 50 metres zone, and he breaks a little bit late actually, but not too bad. Can he get a good exit? It's not a bad exit, but it could be a lot better. It's going to cost him definitely a couple of attempts or so. So we'll see him now race towards the line, using as much track as possible, stays to the left. It's a 128 dead and puts him up into P2. That is a great job from Liam, but still, Ben Mills in a class of his own, has to be said. He's invalidated. He's going to go once again. He's not happy with that lap at all. But can anyone challenge Ben Mills 127.1 for pole? We'll go on board with Krista and we'll see what Krista can do in the sister AlphaTauri. We'll see how well he can get up there with his teammates. And we'll see, of course, we know that Liam is a very good driver and likes to share setups and practice with his teammates all the time. So we'll see if he's been able to give Krista any help around here, because we know Liam does a lot of races on Formula 1 2021. So he's probably raced a couple of races around Jeddah already, knowing Liam. So we'll see if he can give any of the track secrets to his teammates and see if they can get him up there as well, because you don't want to be starting P16 here. A nice entry into that corner, but you see how quickly the wall comes at you when you come out of that corner and that turn. And there's a Haas going slowly in just turn 1. I think he was just letting traffic through. But we can see now Krista then coming in sector 3, carrying tremendous speed actually. And a good little bit of directional change there as we now approach towards the final corner then. So he needs to make... Sorry, that was turn 2, I do apologise. Not turn 2, sorry, sector 2, I do apologise. So now he's going to be approaching the run down towards the last corner. So this is where you need to carry so much speed, and traffic can be an issue. Frusty sees it coming and moves out of the way and stays out of the way. So that's a great job there from Frusty. Nice and late on the brakes there from Krista. And actually you'll get a nice little tow here from End Andrews. This should definitely give him a couple of attempts if he can get within range of End Andrews. This slipstream, and we'll see Krista now jumps from P16 up to P6 on a 1:28.9. That's a fantastic lap time from Krista with his teammate Liam in P2. So then 1 minute 30 left on the clock, and we might have the spectator glitch. So there's definitely plenty of time for at least one more run out of most of these drivers. And Safso once again invalidated. He needs to get a move on for this last lap. He cannot afford any mistakes in this last attempt. With Jaxie now retired as well, that is his session over. He is happy with P8 as it currently stands. So it's great to see that practice is being rewarded, as we know Jaxie and Harv have been working with a lot of our other drivers who aren't here tonight, unfortunately, the likes of Mine Polka and Puluminati. And they've definitely been able to use that older head and wide shoulders to be able to give Jaxie and Harv a lot of help and a lot of support in getting the most out of the car and getting them the confidence they need, because all the drivers are fantastic here. So we'll see them Rage down on his outlap, just trying to see how much he can actually explore the track, how much where he can push the limits of this track. And Jaxie there trying to get outside the top 10, wanting the fresh tyres. That's going to be an interesting strategy if he can get outside the top 10. We see Rage getting past Ben Mills then. And Rage should be able to come across the line and might actually be the last driver to be able to set a lap time. Depends on the spectator glitch. Actually, he should be okay. Actually, it should be a few drivers who can set at least one more lap. So we'll stay on board with Rage F1 then for this first turn 1. And we'll see if he can do it. And actually, Big Boy Bill in the 1:27.9. So only 8 tenths away from Ben Mills. That is a great job there from Big Boy Bill. Fantastic lap time. Rage then getting a nice smooth entry into these corners, and we'll just see he's a little bit hesitant again on the throttle. Doesn't want to just... If you hit that track limit, if you go over the line, that is a lap over and gone. And Rage then currently down P12. He definitely needs to find around a second or so if he really wants to... Actually about 1.6 seconds to just catch up to Safso. So we know we can do it. So come on, Rage, you can definitely get your foot down now, and you can definitely try and show off for the commentator as he now becomes a racer, and we'll see what he can do in sector 2 then. So he's just got to be so careful. The walls come so quick. The way that this track cambers to the drivers, you can just get into a nice rhythm and flow, and you can find so much time here by getting the confidence. So Ben Mills then is done. He's on a 1:27.1. Can anyone challenge the 1:27.1? It's going to be interesting to see. And once again, we see the likes of Torza giving Rage another tow. So we can call him Toza instead of Torza for this one event, it seems. As he gives Rage actually a really nice tow there. Once again, it's really well worked between them. So great job there. It takes so much into that last corner. Now he's all about the straight line speed. Can he improve from P12? This is where it matters as he comes towards the line. And he does improve. He goes into the top 10. P9, 1:30.5. Great lap time there from Rage F1. And that's going to be all that she wrote for qualifying. Unfortunately, Jaxie starts 10th by 4 tenths of a second. That is unfortunate for you, Jaxie. You will be starting on those tyres. You need Maku to do a lap, and Maku did not manage to get it in within the time, unfortunately. But there's your top 3 then. So going into this is Ben Mills on pole, with Big Boy Bill on the front row joining him. Then on row 2, it's Liam and Torza. That's a great lap time battle there between Liam and Torza. So close between them. Next, and Andrews and Kristen. That's going to be awesome to see those two battling out for P6 and P7. Then we've got Harv and Rage splitting the McLaren duo. So great battle there between Harv, Rage, and Jaxie. I feel it's coming along. Then we've got Jaxie and Rusty for P10 and 11. Rusty getting best of the rest. He will definitely get those fresh tyres to start off for the race. Then Tapstone P12, Rusty P13, Zay Planet P14, Ecos Dragon in P15, and Maku unfortunately in 16th and last. That is a really shame for Maku. We normally see Maku right up there, and unfortunately it's just couldn't get a lap in. As the game now finally does transition into the next session then. So, this is going to be really interesting to actually see how this strategy is going to play out. It's going to be fast, it's going to be furious, and it's going to be one hell of a race here in Jeddah. So once again then, Ben Mills on the rundown. 1:27.1 is your pole position time. And Big Boy Bill doing a great job to get into the only other man to get into the 1:27s on a 1:27.9. Then it's Liam and Torza. This is going to be a great battle. It was Torza who took the championship away from Liam in that close Season 2 battle. So he definitely wants to get revenge here by outscoring Torza. It's so great to see him back into racing. Now he's got his new wheel and back into, after having a great Season 5, having a great amount of time and a great amount of results. Unfortunately unable to finish the season due to a wheel issue. So great to see him back in the top 5. End Andrews P6, Krista P7, Harv P8, Rachel fantastic P9, and Jaxie doing a great job in P10, with Rusty's best of the rest in P11. Don't go anywhere, folks, because we're going to bring you an exciting 25-lap race in just a moment. So then the drivers now are going to be trying to get their strategies sorted, of course. So this is going to be a long old race. And it's, of course, just like Season 5, a 50% race around here in Jeddah. So it's going to be interesting to see the drivers who have had that practice and have been able to work out the tyre degradation. And we'll see exactly who's going to start on the mediums. Is anyone going to take the hards and go long and cause a bit of an issue with traffic maybe later on to the session? That could come and pay you dividends here as well. It is quite the unknown, which is great. It's great to see the unknown. It shakes up the grid and shakes it up for this. Of course, Jeddah is not on our Season 6 track list, but could be coming for Season 7. So the drivers getting the practice tonight are definitely going to have that advantage, knowing the track early and being able to dial themselves in. So it's great to see. So Ben Mills will lead us away for the formation lap then. So we're going to see then Ben Mills leading Big Boy Bill away then for the front row. We've got the likes of Liam and Torza, and that could be chaos there in P3 and P4. Trying to find an opportunity to get an overtake done might be a bit difficult here, as Liam actually gets so close to the wall trying to warm up the tyres. Harv, Rage, Jaxie and Tapso all get reset to the grid, unfortunately, and they're going to have freezing cold tyres. We do not know what happened back there. We did not expect 4 cars. So unfortunately in the formation lap, if you even make a slight touch to another car, you get reset and your tyres will start freezing cold. And that is not what P8 to P11 needed there then. So it's predicting a one stop on the softs, either lap 10 or 12 to go onto the mediums to the end, or lap 9, 12 for the hards. And we'll see the top drivers try and push that through around lap 14 or 15 or so. They can always extend it by a few laps. And depends, of course, if we get a safety car or not. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out then. So as we were saying then, Liam and Torza are looking to have a great spicy battle tonight, with Tafso as well, who is flying up there in P5. Never forget Tafso. Tafso Season 1 champions, Torza Season 2. This is going to be a great battle on track. And Andrews then doing a fantastic job for P6 with teammate up in P2 with Krista P7. Apparently good Jaxie, my man, just full throttle the formation lap. Who full throttled a formation lap? Maybe people didn't realise it was a formation lap. I don't know. I wasn't able to catch it, unfortunately. Then Krista P7, Harv P8, Rage P9, Jaxie P10, Tapso P11. As we now jump down to Frosty in P12. He's going to have nice toasty warm tyres and could actually get a jump on the likes of Tapso and Jaxie. You have to be so careful into turn 1 with freezing cold tyres. Then we've got Snippy Planet, his teammate, and another reserve driver tonight in P13. Unlucky for some, but we now approach the end then. So actually looking on the tyres, as we were meant to do. So Ecos Dragon, Maku and Rusty are the only people starting on the mediums, everyone else on softs. That is going to be very interesting then to see how that will play out. We'll see if they can make going longer in the first stint work for them and should have fast tyres towards the end. It's going to be very interesting then as we go back to the front of the grid then, as we wait for the 5 lights and the drivers to line up. That will signify the start of the pre-season event here in Saudi Arabia. So we've got 3 red lights, we've got 4, we've got 5. We know it's going to be a delay because there always is with the spectators, unfortunately. And there we go, actually. It's go, go, go. They have actually fixed it quite a bit. And we have a stalled pass, actually, on the back of the grid who's had an instance. Taps, though. That is a shame there for Taps. I don't know who collected them. That is such a shame there. We already have the yellow flags in Sector 3. But Ben Mills gets a nice clean start. Liam gets a good start as well. Actually, Big Boy Bill actually jumps down a couple of positions. That is not what he needed. And that is unfortunate there for Big Boy Bill, down 2 places already with the likes of Tapso right behind him. And I believe Tapso has much going on. And Big Boy Bill has lost it. Oh, that is such a shame for Big Boy Bill. I think he just dropped it on the outside with cold tyres. That is a shame for Big Boy Bill. Hopefully he hasn't got any damage and can carry on. That puts End Andrews, his teammate, up a position. And Krista, Jaxie up 3 places. Great start from Jaxie. Harv still maintaining P8. And Ecos Dragon up 5 after being right towards the back end of the pack. So great job there from Ecos Dragon. Frosty holding on to P10. Rage down 2 positions. I think he's a bit cautious at the start. That is unfortunate for Rage F1. City Planet gaining a place, but Big Boy Bill, the biggest loser, unfortunately, in the Shakers and Movers, down 12 positions. Tapstow down 5. And he's trying to battle with Maku here on the inside. Tapstow just trying to go for some crazy moves. Might not actually be there. Might just be his AI. You've got to be careful. He might have disconnected, unfortunately, with the cross next to his name. So that is unfortunate there. So that is something they've got to be careful of there. So let's get back up there into the pack. We can see Ecos Dragon now battling Harv as they go side by side into the corner. Has to settle for Harv. Gets that corner for now, but Dragon should get a much better run here at the end. Ben Mills straight away in the 132. Great outlap from Ben Mills. We'll see actually, can Ecos Dragons try and close up the gap to Harv, or will he think better of? He's going to have to settle for now. And this is the problem with Jeddah, it seems. It's getting that opportunity to overtake is going to be so hard. It's so crucial to make these places up. And Andrews then following the back of Sasso. Goes a little bit wide actually coming into that turn 4, I think it is. So that is... Got to be careful there, Sasso. You don't want to get too many warnings when we'll start seeing drivers getting penalties. And then Liam then creating a nice little gap between him and Torza as Liam now tries to set after Ben Mills. But Ben Mills we saw was flying in qualifying and will be flying in the race. It seems he is currently. So this is going to be a huge battle. As Maki is now into the pit, and I wouldn't be surprised if he actually goes to retire the car. Unfortunately, it's not letting us see. There we go. Let's see Maki. Actually, he's just changed his tyres. Maybe got a new front wing, and he's back out. So it's not early yet for Maku, who now passes Tapstone. Back out in P15. See Rusty's Rage and Bill all out in the battle, and Rusty thinks better of it. Thinks I am not going to get collected in any instance that could happen here, and stays out of the way. City Planet's trying to sniff a position here as well. You can just see how close it is in this little pack right at the back of the grid, so we'll see if they can make any kind of move then. As Rusty's up 4 places, that's a great job from Rusty's. He now tries to hunt down Rage F1, Big Boy Bill, who's actually regained a couple of places as well, so that's a good job there on the recovery for Big Boy Bill. Ben Mills already is second fastest lap, great to see. Harv down P9, the Dragon did take him. Dragon now looking to make the move onto Jaxie, but he's going to have to be patient and make it probably again halfway through this lap on the next bit of the straight with the DRS zone. He might be able to get it unless Jaxie gets a little bit of a cautious exit actually there. Has to be careful not to just light up the rears there. And that gives Dragon the close-up he needs. Now, can Dragon follow him though, of course, is going to be key around here. You can just see the difference here as there's a penalty for Frosty. And Liam actually gets a penalty as well. That is a shame for Liam, the bridesmaid. And oh, you can just see the speed difference that Dragon's got in that corner compared to Jaxie. And Jaxie doing everything he can to defend. Sticks to the left. He's fair and clean driver there. And he knows Dragon's got the DRS. And Jaxie's trying to send it on the inside. Because that is the one thing you can do here if you're careful. In the inside. And he's still neck and neck. And I think Dragon will just get the position here. But of course, we've still got a long way to go on this lap. But it's still not over yet, possibly. But I think Jaxie can still take it back to him if he can just get his head back in. And Harv, of course, he's going to be towing him along. That is a great move then for Dragon. Great tip up into P7 and up 7 places as well then. We see Torsen now on the back of Liam, closed up to only less than half a second away. So Liam then, with that 3-second time penalty, is just in a world of disaster at the moment. He's going to have to be praying other drivers get penalties. We don't normally see Liam pick up penalties actually. It's a very rare thing to see Liam pick up a penalty. And that could be down to the lack of running at the track. Ben Mills once again fastest lap on a 1:31.5. And here we see Torsen then trying to make the move on Liam. Goes to the outside. Liam makes him go a long way. And they actually touch side pod to wheel. That is just crazy between them, those two, the contact. And Liam somehow still manages to stay out in front then. And hopefully there won't be much damage for Torza. I don't think there actually is any damage there for either driver, so that is good to see them. That could have easily taken them both out. As Frusty gets another 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That is a shame for Frusty, who is now retired, and that is Frusty's day over, unfortunately. And that is a shame for Frusty. He was going so well earlier, so that is just an absolute shame. But unfortunately, I'm sure he'll bounce back for Season 6 as one of our reserve drivers, and I'm sure he'll come back stronger than ever. So in this battle then, once again, Liam and Torza, we've seen this time and time again. Season 2, if you went with us for Season 2, Liam and Torza every week were battling it out for the... And at the end, it was only Torza that could stop Liam, and did so to take that championship title and that crown. So these two have got a long history of racing for each other. So once again, with the DRS, can he get past Liam? Leaves it late to make the move. Sends it on the inside there then for Torza. But Torza's actually going to get the DRS once again, I believe. And that, yeah, he will do. So he should get another long run onto Liam. And Liam should not have an answer. Puts on a little bit of the squeeze, but knows that it's game, set, and match for Torza for now. And Ed Andrews, out of nowhere, it seems, is closed up massively to Liam. So that is a great job from Ed Andrews. He can smell blood, and he wants that position. He wants to get that top 3 position. Because we're on lap 5 of 25 already. And right behind this pack, Safso. Never count Safso out. Safso is so smart in these situations. He's so wise. And you can see a lot of the time his ERS usage is so perfect, so precise, and so perfect that he can save it in places where other drivers don't and still carry speed. Then Andrews gets a time penalty, unfortunately, because we saw him go wide there. So that's not going to help End Andrews either. So Safso knows if he can stay with End Andrews and Liam, he's going to gain those 2 places automatically, at least if he doesn't get himself a penalty. So further down the pack then, Ecos Dragon, we've seen him already gain 7 places and make the moves on the McLaren Duo. There's a problem with the back actually, there's a yellow flag, and it's for the Mercedes. It's for Torza. Torza's out, we have a full safety car. What? Oh, it's Torza collects the wall, I believe, at the end. We didn't see it, unfortunately. But that is a full safety car, and this could save the soft tyre runners here if they choose to pit in. It is a bit of... Actually, it is very early to pit in here, but it depends on how the tyre wear is going for them, of course. And he will gain a couple of laps at least back with the safety car. So we might see a couple of drivers pit in, especially at the back of the pack. This is going to definitely cut... And Ben Mills' 6-second lead is going to be completely wiped out. So he's definitely going to take that pit stop. And will he come onto mediums or will he go into hard tyres? He could probably go to the end on hard tyres. And he might be able to go out on mediums to the end. And it looks like it's going to be medium tyres then. It's Liam gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That is not what Liam needed with a 3-second penalty already. So 8 seconds worth of penalties. And I don't think he can save it under the safety car. So currently then, Dragon stayed out because he started on the mediums. And he is your net leader right now. So that is a great job from Dragon. And Jaxie as well, choosing to stay out as well on the soft tyres. Puts him up into a P2. So a great job there from Jaxie. But it's going to be hard towards the end. Especially when you've got the likes of Ben Mills chasing you down. That is not a cool position to be in. A lot of drivers then switching then. So Safso has gone for hard tyres. Is he going to try and one-stop to the end? The one-stop was predicted for about the last 10 or 12 or so. So it's 4 laps earlier. But with the pace that he's got, if the tyre weight is relatively low, then he should be okay to get to the end. It's just going to be dependent on the likes of Krista, Harv and N. Andrews on the medium tyres. And we'll see if they can get that pace advantage and if that can cause Safso a headache. But of course, if there's another safety car, he could come back out onto soft tyres and make it great. And I think we can now get an invite to Tapso. We thought it was getting sorted off stream, unfortunately, but it was not. So we will send that to Tapso. See if we can get him back into the session. So then, Ecos Dragon is your leader, up 13 places on 6-lap all mediums. He can go quite a while actually on these tyres. He should still feel comfortable. There's Jaxie in P2. But Jaxie obviously being the sitting duck now on those soft tyres. But they have only done 6 laps or so. But once it gets to lap 10, 11, that tends to be where we expect to see the problems. And we can probably delay it by 2. So around lap 13, see Jaxie's tyres really struggle. And Torza's left the session, so we've got to try and get Torza back in as well. So we will send him another invite in case he wants to come back in and spectate, but it's up to him, of course, after causing the incident for the safety car. But that is such a shame for Torza. So Ben Mills then, what has he got to do from here then? On the medium tyres, brand new set, nice and fresh. He knows Jaxie's going to be slower on those new softs, and Ecos Dragon as well yet to pit, so he knows these two will get out the way eventually. But the problem he's got now is the likes of Liam behind, and actually Liam's gone for the hard tyre. That's very interesting, copying Seth there, and Jaxie thinks better of it actually. And I think Liam's coming into the pits, so maybe Liam wanted mediums and the game gave him hards. We have seen that glitch happen time and time again, so that is not good for Liam. Jaxie, I think, realised that he left it one lap too late. Yeah, I do know Torres retired, but we weren't sure if he wanted to come and spectate either, because we do have some drivers who do retire and like to still spectate the race in-game. So that's why we do always send out an invite to them who have retired as well. So then Safso up to P4 because of Jaxie and Liam pitting. So this was exactly what Safso needed. He knew End Andrews ahead has got a penalty, so he should gain that place as it stands. So then he can go after Ben Mills. And that's what Ben Mills is going to have to be careful of, is like Safso. Safso on hard tyres. If we get another safety car, could come back in for softs. It's so close to call, it's going to be really tight if Ben Mills can make these medium tyres last to the end, or if he will have to stop again. But Safso should be nice and comfortable to stay on these hard tyres to the end. Harv actually up in P6, great job there from Harv. Big Boy Bill had a decent recovery back into P7 so far, unfortunately down 5 places after his absolutely amazing qualifying performance. He's got it all to do then, but has not got a penalty currently, so if he can keep it clean, he should definitely gain a couple of places or so. Jaxie comes out actually in P9, so that wasn't too bad for Jaxie out P9, but that's going to be annoying for Liam down in P10 with Rage at P11. So that could be a nice little fight between Liam and Rage. Snippy Planet then in P12. He's got a lot of work to do then on these soft tyres. Has he pitted actually? Yeah, he has pitted, so he must have started on the he must have started on the medium, so he's now going to have fresh softs. But it's going to be so... I don't think he's going to be able to get to the end on those softs. It's going to be so close to his tyre performance. Maku then getting the brake he needs to get back into the pack, P13, and safety car is in this lap then. And we'll see. Oh, Big Boy Bill's hit the wall. We did say we would see drivers hit the wall, and he lost 6 places from where he was. That is a shame for Big Boy Bill, just not getting a break tonight and not getting any luck then. So we're right on board with Ben Mills then, because it depends now, when does Dragon go? We have yet to have practice on this track. We've yet to see any safety car restarts on this track, and Dragon's now gone now, so we'll see if he can keep Ben Mills at bay, which he should be able to do so for now. And will End Andrews actually try and look to make a move onto Ben Mills. They can now go racing once again in side by side here at Jeddah. And what End Andrews really needs to do is try and stay with them. And looks like yellow flags at the back there, just very cautiously. And that was such a squeeze there from Chris there. It's amazing he did not hit the wall there. And Harv now trying to put the pressure onto Krista. We see the train behind. We have the Rusty train with Liam, Jaxie and Maku all behind, squabbling over position. And Rusty goes a little bit wide there. Unfortunately, he's going to lose a position or 2, maybe even 3 places here for Rusty. As Maku now looks to get the move on the inside, and he does get the move. And great job there from Maku Gaming. It's not over till it's over. 1.16 for the last, now up to P8. Great job there from Maku Gaming. And he's going to be able to go really bold and really racy on these tyres. If he can make them last to the end, that would be one hell of an achievement for Maku Gaming. And Jaxie then up into P7. Has dropped that back from the lead, of course. Sorry, from P2 from the safety car restart. But he knows that his battle is not with Ben Mills. We're thinking better about it and thinking going for the long strategy here. He knows Liam Ahead's got the penalty. He knows his teammate Harv's got the penalty. Krista then just looking so racy. Actually doing a great job, Krista. Unfortunately, the penalties will be a factor once again. And that is not what these drivers want, unfortunately. So then Ben Mills still behind Dragon. Dragon getting a great drive away, just in the right areas where he needs to be. Pulling away from Ben Mills, he is doing so. So Ben's trying to reel him in. It might take a few laps to get where he needs to. As has been famously said before, it's one thing to catch, it's another to pass. So can Ben Mills do it? As you can see him get so close to that wall on the inside there, he could have easily took a wheel off just by bouncing off that wall. So you've got to be so precise here as Ben Mills now hoods down Ecos Dragon. And Tapstow is back into a 3-second time penalty, unfortunately. As Snitty Planet gets a pit stop. I think he's getting a wing change. That is a shame for Snitty Planet then. Saf's actually down to P10. We didn't see what happened with Safso. Maybe he just hasn't been able to fire up these hard tyres. I don't think he has any damage. I'll wait and see if we can get an onboard shot. And his wing looks fine. So yeah, no damage there to be seen, unless he's got any fall damage that we are not seeing. But I think it's just trying to fire these hard tyres up. It's just so hard to get him into that operating window because they don't go as quickly as the mediums or the softs. And Maka gets a time penalty, unfortunately. So that has reset his battle between him and Liam. Now it's going to be definitely for position. And Dragon gets a time penalty as well. You can see this is what happens when the drivers are pushing the extreme limits, especially when you then have to consider a battle with Ben Mills. So Ben now has managed to take off 4 tenths of a second to close up to Ecos Dragon. And he's looking to get the exit of Dreams here. And he knows that if he can just stay with Dragon, get the DRS. No, sorry, the DRS will be next lap. It's still, of course, 2 laps until we get it. So we should get it now, and there we do. After the safety car restart, of course. So that will definitely start to help him reel in Ecos Dragon. That's up to P8. Rusty, actually... Sato coming with the pit. He is. Safso's realised those tyres are just not giving him the performance he wants. And he had to really slow down early there and almost bogged down quite a bit. So that is unfortunate for Safso. But he will now get those hard tyres off, and will actually must have had wing damage. He must have had even just a slight bit of damage that we didn't see maybe in the spectator, but unfortunately he's going to get a brand new wing. That's just going to take a lot of time in the blocks then. As Krista gets up another penalty then. And Harv is ahead of Jaxie. So Harv, I think Jaxie's let Harv go, knowing he's got the penalty, but he knows that Harv can hunt down Liam if Jaxie doesn't feel he has the pace today for Liam. So then the only drivers not to have a penalty, Ben Mills, Jaxie, Big Boy Bill, and Safso. So this could play dividends if you can just keep it clean. If you can just stay nice and clean, no penalties at all. With a safety car or two coming out, you can gain quite a few positions here, especially towards the end of the race. So all still to play for. So Big Boy Bill once again down 8 places and just unfortunately having problems then with this race. Unfortunately not going his way. Rage F1 then down P11, down 2 places, actually P12 as we say that, as Safso gets past them, and that looked like the Rage had let him get past as well. I think he realised his race is not going to be battling Safso too much tonight, so I think he thought better of it and try and actually maybe use Safso for a bit of a tow, but Safso is just driving away. Ben Mills then in the 1:30s on the medium tyres and gets past Ecos Dragon, which of course was to be expected because Dragon has not pitted yet. So Ben Mills then back out in front and remaining just a difficult opponent to try and beat, it seems, tonight in Jeddah. We're now on lap 11 of 25, so we are nearly halfway through this race. We just see how committed Dragon is, though. His tyres are definitely more warm at this moment. I think he had those mediums on since the start. And Andrews picks up another 3-second penalty, and that is a shame for End Andrews, because he was going really well there. Shows you that if you just cross that line ever so slightly, that can cause you the problem. So is Krista going to let Liam through? He does. So Krista thought better of it and let his teammate through, not to hold him up. And now Chris is going to have to try and defend from Harvey. Yellow flag in sector 2, and that might be the Tapstow. It is. The Tapstow is retired. That is a shame for Tapstow. So then we'll have a look at the penalties, of course. So let's go look for the penalties. So there we go. Ben Mills on a 3-second penalty. Sorry, Ben Mills not on a penalty, correction. Ecos Dragon on a 3-second penalty. N. Andrews on a 6-second penalty. Liam only got 3s. He managed to save the 5-second penalty that he picked up before for speeding in the pit lane. Krista then on 6, Harb on 3, Jaxie on 0, Rusty's has 8 seconds of penalties unfortunately, Maku 3, Big Boy Bill 3, Rage 3, and City Planet on 6. So that is where we are at the moment with penalties then. And Chris has lost it. Oh, that is such a shame for Krista. And that is his race over and done. That should probably be a safety car. And it is. As Jaxie manages to get past him without having any damage. And Jaxie's now thinking about coming in for the pits. He should get a nice cheap stop here. So this should definitely help him as long as he doesn't speed in the pit lane and doesn't. So great job there. And that was just an absolute shame for Krista. So what's Jaxie going to do then? Jaxie's going to take a front wing change. That's why he was letting his teammate through earlier then. And a brand new fresh set of medium tyres that should get to the end here. So that could be dividends there for him later in this race. He has to wait a little bit there for Maku to get past. Rusty then finally gets the pit and saves a penalty as well. But that is definitely spiced this race up now, because Ecos Dragon could come in, get a nice cheap stop, and maybe lose a few positions, but if he's looking very racy, and we haven't seen him on the soft tyres yet in this race, he could come out for the soft tyres if he can make them last to the end. this could be definitely a spicy race between him and Ben Mills, having the tyre advantage to him. So then Safso and Rage coming into the pit stops. Rage getting a brand new wing and fresh air tyres, of course. Safso coming back out in P11. Just doesn't seem to be Safso's day at the moment, but of course, another safety car. Could seek more chaos at the front. Still hasn't got a penalty. Keeping it clean and consistent is Safso, as we usually see from Safso. So we could have a couple of laps at least of this safety car. And the pack will get a reset. So then still all to play for then. We are nearly halfway through this race. Actually, we are now halfway through this race as it stands. So Liam is then going to come in. Ben Mills actually pitting for soft tyres. That's a very bold call from Ben Mills. As Dragon will now get released and come out. Actually, Dragon should come out back in P2 then. And I think he managed to clear his penalty as well, because it was only a 3 second. Let's just get that back up there. When it lets me... There we go. Yeah. No, we still got a 3 second penalty. That's unfortunate for Ecos Dragon though. But saying that, Liam behind, hard behind both on 3 second, and then Andrews on 6. If he can just stay where he is, he should at least get P2 if Ben does not crash out or have an incident. So that is very, very good actually. And he's gone on soft tyres with Ben, and he had to make that first pit stop that he needed. So it's him and Ben then on the same tyres to the end. That's going to be very interesting. Liam on the mediums. Still all to play for. It's still too close to call who's going to end up winning this race. So then Jacky should have a lot more performance back now, as he's got a brand new front wing on that car. So expect to see him be much racy again. So we're waiting now for the pack to close up, of course, with the drivers driving to the Delta. Jackson then should catch now to the back of Ben Andrews, and he'll slow down. And we'll have to wait now for Big Boy Bill. Big Boy Bill actually back up to 7th once again. So he's managed through that phase to... did he stop again? Let's have a check. I believe he did, yeah, he's 3 stops. So he has stopped once again. So he's only down 5 places once again from earlier, as we saw him. Hasn't really gone his way starting P2, down at 1 point to P11, but he's managed to get back into P7 and scoring some good points at the moment. Maki then in P8, Rusty's P9, and City Planet P10. So then Rage is just quite a long way away actually. I think he had a really slow stop. He had a wing change, tyre change, and might have saved the penalty. Yet the safety car cannot wait for him, unfortunately, all day. So it is going to go in this lap. So it's unfortunate for Rage as he won't be able to catch to the pack then. So Ben Mills then, when does Ben Mills decide to go? We saw Dragon go not far off the start-finish line, and then he bolted. And Dragon's going to be ready to go, and Ben Mills goes now, so he goes a little bit earlier than Dragon actually. Still manages to get a better drive, and still manages to hold on to P1 going into turn 1. And Harv then right on the back of Liam. You can see how much it closes up now. End Andrews, Harv and Liam. And have a great scrap here. So you can get P3 as it stands, so... And Jaxie then, Big Boy Bill, is going to be very interesting to watch actually. Big Boy Bill, we've seen him carry so much speed, and Jaxie doing a great job defending. And it unfortunately gets a 3 second time penalty, and that looked really unfair there from what we saw. But if you cross the lines, unfortunately, if you do get the warnings, if you get a penalty, it is your own fault, unfortunately. So he's still battling with them with Big Boy Bill, and Big Boy Bill does get past on those soft tyres. But that's not to worry for Jaxie, as long as he can hold off Maku, but Maku is going to be very speedy. In fact, Jaxie's taking a lot more speed to this corner than Big Boy Bill is. So this is where the tyres now starting to warm up for Jaxie, and he's starting to get the grip that he needs. So can Jaxie return service and make the move onto Big Boy Bill? He thinks about going for the gap, but the gap's closed, so he had to back out of that, unfortunately, and sweep to the right rather than staying left. And now we need his teammate Harv to try, and Jaxie carried too much speed into that corner. That's unfortunate, he broke far too late, and that's going to give Maku a great chance here at getting a position on Jaxie. As he goes on along the inside of Jaxie, and they are side by side. And Maku then and Jaxie still not giving that position up. But has to leave enough space there to be so careful, it's so close there. And somehow Jaxie manages to hold on to P7, but I fear not for long, as Maku now makes the move on Jaxie, and Big Boy Bill makes the move on Harv. So that's a great job there for Bill and Maku gaining the places. But Jaxi, again, just somehow manages to have an answer for Maku. And is able just to keep fighting these battles. But unfortunately, I think Maku might just get to stay ahead going into this section here. And Jaxi would say he's probably forced wide there, but I think he just broke it far too late, unfortunately, there. And that is going to be Maku's position as it stands. Safso then right on the back of Rusty's. Can he make a move and get himself into multiple point-paying positions rather than just P10? And he does so nice and easily there, it seems. So great job there from Safso. Rage still nowhere near the pack. Unfortunately, it's going to be, unless you get another safety car, it's going to be quite a lonely race for Rage F1. So then, Ecos Dragon 1.5 seconds away from Ben Mills now then. And that is not what he needs in terms of trying to win the race outright. But considering he's battling the likes of Liam and Andrews, if he can get a P2, that'd be a fantastic result for Dragon. You can see Big Boy Bill and Andrew's teammate now starting to close up. He's carrying a terrific amount of speed on these soft tyres. And he's looking very confident. At one point being P11 and losing those places, he's just fired him straight up. And Andrews goes on the inside of Liam. Big Boy Bill thinks better of it. He knows that if he can get with DRS, next lap it'll be, unfortunately for them. But if he can just get a tow, at least from his teammate, they can both go out after Liam. They get a great tow, and he goes right, which is the wrong way, unfortunately, because you're just not going to get a move there through Liam unless you can get the inside, but couldn't go too far on the inside. Tries to get a better exit from Liam. Liam will get slightly blocked by End Andrews there, but Liam, ever the fighter, still one of the best wheel-to-wheel races that I've ever seen. Genuinely, he is terrific at wheel-to-wheel combat, Liam. And oh, he bounces off the wall. That is such a shame. Curse the commentator strikes again. And I would not be surprised if he has wing damage. If he's lucky, he just bounced off the tyre. But that is such a shame there for Liam. He's got to get his head back into it then. As Bill gets round his teammate. And then Andrew's going to have to try and follow him and try and get towed along by Bill as they need to go after Ecos Dragon. So then Harv can smell blood now as Liam bounced off the wall. And if Liam has the pit, then Harv will be relishing the chance of taking that P5 off him. Maku actually up to P7, so Jaxi falling a little bit behind, unfortunate there. Maku now trying to make the move on Harv, goes on the inside. Can he make the move stick as they approach the next corner? And as they get there, he is just ahead. And Maku once again just making these overtakes look fantastically easy at times. But we know that's definitely not. Maku up to P6 then, up 9 places. Great job there from Maku. Definitely having the car better set up for the race. As Harv, somehow these McLaren boys have managed to come back when you think it is over and game set and match. It's not. Unfortunately, Harv is going to be just a victim here to the DRS. Unfortunate. As Maku will carry a lot more speed then, and that is going to give Harv once again the headache of being stuck behind Maku's rear end. So that's up to P7 then. Rusty's P8. Liam down P9. Pam to pit. Unfortunately, he did have wing damage, so that is a shame for Liam. But it's going to release the likes of Maku, and Andrews, and Big Boy Bill then. So out in front then with our leader, 3-second gap now. Once again, we've seen him build up gaps of at least 6 seconds, and it gets wiped out by a safety car. Looking untouchable today. Ben Mills definitely flying around here in Jeddah tonight in that Red Bull, looking so comfortable in their home with the car and driver as one, just doing such a great job here. Dragon then 3.3 seconds away now, so the gap is still increasing there from between Ben and Dragon. So then the close battle on track will be between End Andrews and Big Boy Bill as it stands, if End Andrews can close up to his teammates. But it's a great job actually from Big Boy Bill. We've seen him just go from P2 so far down in this race with a couple of incidents, and he's back up to P3. Shows you the amount of pace he has in that car and on these tyres. Doing a fantastic job with an Alfa Romeo P3 and P4 as it stands. So great job there from the Alfa Romeo duo. So further back then, Harv P6 looking to make an opportunity if he can get close to Maku and try and battle it out. Depends though how fast Maku is driving. If he'll wear these tyres out, they should be okay. Generally they should be. And the other thing that's going to be a headache for Harv is the other Aston Martin now starting to close up and cut the gap quite a bit. And of course Safso keeping it clean and not having a penalty as it stands. And Harv actually picked up another penalty as we say that. Safso picked up a penalty as well as we say that. So that is just fantastic to see then. Curse the commentator strikes once again, unfortunately, for Safso and Harv. So the battle then is going to be carrying on all the way to the end between Harv and Safso. Rusty's actually doing a fantastic job in P8, up 8 places. He's going along nicely in his house. Liam, though, down P9, down 6 places. That is such a shame for Liam. We have a Mercedes causing a yellow flag, and that's got to be Rage F1. And that is unfortunate there. He's starting to catch the pack as well. So the gap now at the front, 4 seconds. So he's just about found a second or so on Ecos Dragon Ben Mills. So Ben Mills absolutely flying on those tyres. Those tyres are going to be red hot. Maki up 10 places. Great job there. Harv up 2. Safso down 2, but looking now to close up to Harv. So the problem that Harv's going to have is the DRS zone that's about to come up after this corner. So Safso should get DRS now as he's about to use it after. He does actually, yeah. So Harv actually comes in for the pits. So that's going to free up Safso then to go after his teammate with a little bit of a gap between them. So that's going to be interesting to see. It's about 5 seconds or so. So we'll see if Safso can make it up then in 6 laps. Yeah, Harv Payton actually puts Rusty's up to P7, so that's a great job there. And Harv needs a new front wing again, so that is a shame for Harv having to take that wing. And Andrews gets another penalty. So once again, we go have a look at the penalty situation. End Andrews, 9 seconds of penalties. And that is a shame for End Andrews. Ecos Dragon on 6, and Big Boy Bill with only 3, so that is not great for Ecos Dragon. Safso on 3, Maki on 3. Rusty's on 6, Snitty Planet on 6, and Harv on 9 seconds of penalties as well. That is such a shame for Harv. And that is not what the drivers want, is getting penalties. It's going to cost you. On a track as fast as this, penalties can be the difference hugely here compared to some of the other tracks that we race on. And Andrew's actually doing a fantastic job to stay with his teammate Big Boy Bill here. This could look like a very good result for the Alfa Romeo team if they can hold off Mako Gaming and avoid any more penalties. The good thing here from Big Boy Bill, he's towing along his teammate, and they want to both go and attack Ecos Dragon. You know, Dragon's got more penalties than him, so this is actually going to be a really good battle here. So End Andrews now has more pace than Bill, but he knows he's got to stay behind Bill. That is a team order there, definitely, to let Bill stay ahead for now. But he might, if he gets a better run, Bill makes a mistake, and End Andrews is no slouch and will definitely take that position. So then Harv and Jaxie, teammates in the McLaren P9 and P10. This is actually a really good result if they can get a top 10 finish here tonight in Jeddah for both of them. You can just see that Jaxie's just thinking better of it and thinking, well, let Harv go, I'll use him for the tow, use him for the DRS, and try and stay with him as much as possible. But actually, will they make the move now? Will they swap and invert the cars? And it looks like they're about to, but no, Harv wants to race them. So Harv leaving it late there for almost a banzai move. And that's a great little inter-team battle between Harv and Jaxie. Liam up to P7 as well because of all the pit stops and the action. Jaxie gets a penalty, unfortunately. So every driver who's still in the race now has a penalty, unfortunately, except for Ben Mills. Ben Mills just seems to be on another level currently tonight. 5.8 seconds, nearly 6 seconds once again ahead of Ecos Dragon. Ben Mills just driving this race to his own pace. No one really there to challenge him at the moment, which is such a shame. Of course, in Season 6, we are going to have the likes of Recycle Finn, Yonti, Beaker, and drivers that we know can take it to Ben Mills directly on a track like this. And that would be very interesting to see. So then once again with the Alfa Romeo duo, Big Boy Bill still towing his teammate and still somehow ahead, but will he be ahead for long? He is. Again, and Andrews backing out of it and letting Big Boy Bill stay ahead as they need this tow and need teamwork to go after Dragon. Good job so currently as well for the Aston Martin team, P5 and P6 as it stands with Mako and Safso really trying to push as much as they can and try and stay ahead of Liam. He's just had a bit of a nightmare race, unfortunately, down 4 places. Rusty's up 8 though, having the complete opposite to him, and now comes into pit. Unfortunately, he's going to lose the place to Jaxie and Harv. Rusty's unfortunately just not being able to make those tyres last. Is he going to take a wing change? Has he got damage? Because we did expect these mediums to get to the end comfortably with the safety cars as well. And he is. That's why Rusty, having a bit of damage, unfortunately needed to change. And that is gutting for Rusty. But he should be able to come out in Actually, he might be able to get out just ahead of Rage F1. We'll see, it's going to be very close on the exit, actually. He should just get ahead of Rage going into the corner, and he does. So that's good timing there, good job there from the Haas crew to get the driver out ahead of Rage F1. Once again then, Big Boy Bill still leading his teammates, trying to pull them both along and trying to get the gap closed up between him and Ecos Dragon if they can get that place and put the pressure on the Ferrari. He might be able to slingshot End Andrews to try and have a go at Ecos Dragon. Because backing off here, it's just not helping him. If he's faster, he needs to go. Let him tow you along and you tow him back, and vice versa. If that's how you're going to play this, that's what you need to do if you really want to put the pressure on. But it's so hard to get that right. It can end in tears very, very easily, of course. So they've got to try and keep it clean. Ecos Dragon up 12 places after starting on the mediums and right at the back of the grid in P14, doing a great job. Although he's 7 seconds away from Ben Mills, but Ben Mills is just absolutely flying out there with 3 laps left to go or so. So Ben Mills looks really untouchable at the moment as it stands. So Jaxie and Harv once again battling it out, having a bit of fun between the teammates, of course, before the season gets underway next week. So great to see Harv and Jaxie having a nice little battle there and keeping it clean and fair as well. It's great to see. We want to see sportsmanship. Of course, for season 6 we do have a brand new prize pool, and a sportsmanship award will be coming out to drive it of the season. So it's great to see the sportsmanship. There's Mac, who gets a 3-second time penalty, unfortunately. So if we go to the penalty situation then, Mac on 6, teammates on 3. I mean, he has just got it ahead still currently as it stands. So 11 lap all mediums as well. So that is doing a great job to make these last. They should last to the end. Only 2 laps older than Safso's, but with the oldest tyres on the track now. It'll be very interesting to see if he can keep that P5. So we're right back on board with Jaxie, and we'll see his little battle with Harv, and we'll see them once again go wheel to wheel. It's great to see these inter-team battles. Absolutely no team orders being enforced tonight at McLaren. So then Jaxie with the DRS closing up to Harv. Will he get back? And Harv bounces off the wall, actually. Bounces out of left rear. That is surprising if he has not got any damage on that car. As Safso comes into the pit, so he has damage, he has to change a wing once again. And this is going to cost Safso dearly here with that damage. Unfortunately, still not just getting that wing finished now. So that is going to cost him. And if we look then, once again, the penalty situation 3. He should be okay to Harv, I believe, but between him and Jaxie is going to be quite close and quite tough if he can put the pace on for the next few laps. Oh, but Safso gets a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. Just pushing too aggressively tonight, unfortunately, for Safso. So that is not going to help him in his charge for Jaxie. On the gap now at the front, 8.1, nearly 8.2 seconds ahead of Ecos Dragon. Ben Mills just driving at a completely different level, it seems. Rusty's 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And Safso's retired. Safso is not happy with himself. And that is a shame for Safso. He was doing the best job he could, and unfortunately getting that penalty. At one point having no penalties, now DNFing. In fact, he's actually crashed out and stopped on track, so I believe he's crashed out. We might get a VSC, or we might get a look. Actually, yeah, the car's now cleared away. So no full safety car, unfortunately, then on the penultimate lap as Ben Mills starts it. So Jaxie ahead of Harv once again here, which they had to do. They had to, while Safso was still in the race, they had to let Jaxie stay ahead because he needs that gap difference, because that's the place they're fighting for. And Jaxie bounced off the wall and nearly collected his own teammates. That is so close. They both had to bounce off the wall. The McLaren bouncy boys, it seems, tonight. And Rage then gets promoted into P10 and is somehow scoring a point after the race he's had. And Rusty's down a lap, unfortunately. So it takes that P11. So that is a shame for Rusty. He was having a great job early and just having these little incidents, unfortunately, costing you quite a lot. And once again, Jaxie looks to make the move to Harv, and we've seen Harv will just sweep across. And that's the thing about that corner, is it's so offset that the driver behind can just come back at you with ease, it seems. And then if you can hold him there, you can keep him behind, but it's going to be so close between Harv and Jaxie. I mean, Jaxie still takes the place ahead of Harv as it stands anyway. But as Jaxie's got a bit of damage that we're not seeing here, because it just looks like he just can't put the power down as much as Harv is right now. So that is a bit of a shame if he has damage. They should be comfortably a P7, P8 as it stands there, so the planet comes in. for another stop. That puts Rage up to P9. So great job there with Rage recovering to P9 then. The Planet's getting a front wing change, as we've seen it all night, unfortunately. Drivers having these little incidents and just having to get the front wing changed as well as the 4 tyres. So then we're right on board with Ben Mills then, as he is now on the last lap. And it's got the gap up to 10 seconds. And Ben Mills just in a class of 1 tonight, as Ecos Dragon gets a 3-second time penalty once again. So we'll go back to the penalties. That's 9 seconds of penalties. And Big Boy Bill only a second away. That is actually destroyed Dragon's race, unfortunately. Especially with the likes of End Andrews and Ecos Dragon, had a great race with pace, had a great showing jumping up. And Big Boy Bill gets a 3-second penalty as well, as we say that. So I honestly don't know how it's going to end as it stands. 6 seconds of penalties, Big Boy Bill. 9 for Dragon. Bill should still take the place. End Andrews 12. So actually that might have just saved Dragon losing the extra place there. So then Ben Mills then starting the last and final sector of the last lap here in Jeddah tonight. And he's actually catching Rage. Can he lap Rage before the end of the race? That'd be quite an achievement to lap Rage F1. As they come into the last corner now, he should get away with it. He should not get lapped again if he hasn't been. In fact, no, he hasn't been lapped at all. He's very close though. So, and Ben Mills then will come across the line and take the victory tonight in Jeddah in the Shakedown event for Preseason 6. Great job there from Ben Mills. So now we wait for the rest of the grid to come through. So, Ecos Dragon will come across the line in P2 and crashes out in spectacular style. But Big Boy Bill gets P2. Ecos Dragon gets P3. End Andrews P4. And Maku, will he stay P5? No, he jumped P4. End Andrews unfortunately dropped down to P5. So Maku on a great recovery up to P4 and up 11 places. Ecos Dragon up 11 places as well for P3. End Andrews P5 then. Liam should come across the line for, I believe, P6. And does so. So can Jaxie now... Yeah, I think the gap is going to be too far, yeah. So Jaxie then should come across for P7, half P8. Rage should come across P9. Safe Planet should take the last point in P10. I'm not going to lie, Bill, that was one hell of a recovery drive. Great job there to get P2. So Harv and Jaxie then coming across the line together in unison for the McLaren boys. Having to avoid the Ferrari there, unfortunately. Jaxie gets P7, Harv gets P8. That's a great result for Jaxie and Harv. That's going to give them an absolutely huge confidence boost going into Season 6. Great job there from the McLaren duo. As we now have to wait for Rage F1 to come, the rest to come across the line. So Rage then out of the last corner, onto the DRS on the straight. But unfortunately won't be able to get it, unfortunately. But should come across the line in P9. And that is all that she wrote, unfortunately, for tonight's race in Jeddah. We will be having post-race interviews in just a moment, so stay tuned for that. Stick around for that, as we're going to hear back from the driver. Ecos Dragon gets driver of the day in-game. Let us know in chat who your driver of the day was, of course, as well. And you cannot vote for yourself, of course, if you are racing in the league. Then you're not able to do that. And there you go, giving away copies of F1 2021 to the crowd. Great job there from Ben Mills, as he picked up the winner's trophy then on the podium. Fantastic job from Ben. As with though, Bill having a fantastic job to recover back to P2. And Harvey, after 0 practice, you've done a really decent job as well. That's a great celebration, absolutely. And there's Adrian Newey on the podium as well, getting sprayed with champagne, or rosewater actually, this should be for Saudi Arabia. So then, there is the result as it stands then. Ben Mills, P1, simply untouchable is the word to describe Ben Mills tonight. But Big Boy Bill in P2, Ecos Dragon P3, having a great result starting from 14th up to P3. Maku in P4, doing a great job as well, 15th to P4, great job as we're seeing. End Andrews P6 to P5, so up a place, great job still to get a good recovery with the time penalties that you had as well. Liam P6, Jaxie P7, half P8, great job there for the McLaren duo. Rage himself manages to get P9 after being stone cold last at one point. Snitty Planet takes the last point in P10, and Rusty's unfortunately gets best of the rest with Sasso, Krista, Tapso, Torza, and Frusty in the DNFs. So then, shall we go and speak to some of the drivers? Of course, you're going to get to see Rage's face, as we haven't made a new graphic, unfortunately, yet for this, for when I'm doing them. So let's go and speak to our race winner, Ben Mills. Hello.
Hello.
Ben, simply untouchable, domination, and this is the way you want to obviously go into season 6, of course. How was that race for you?
Pretty chill, to be honest.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, obviously with quali, my banker wasn't enough for pole. I was up on another laps, but I either invalidated or got blocked by other cars. Then the race, I pulled away first in safety car. It disrupts your rhythm slightly, but I was able to pass Dragon after the first and and then I was able to pull away on after the second safety car as well. So
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. So then, obviously, then we did see in qualifying. We may as well talk about it. I think it was Big Boy Bill and Sniffy Planet did not see you. I think it was with the traffic. But do you think he could have gone a lot faster then? Do you think he could have gone to the 126s?
uh, definitely a few tenths in it. At the point of approaching those guys ahead, I was I think a tenth and a half to 2 tenths up. So if I could carry that through the last sector, probably sub 27. Yeah.
That would have been absolutely insane to see in the 26s. For a long time, we didn't see anyone else get into the 27s until Bill out of nowhere gets that lap and does a fantastic job. So then, of course, season 6 starts next week, and this is the way you want to start it. You want to come out here fighting for wins straight away and winning them. So, are you going to go into the first race with a lot of confidence then?
Definitely, I enjoy Abu Dhabi a lot, and hopefully I can start the season off well.
Awesome. Well, I wish you the best of luck for season 6. Have a great evening, and we'll speak to you soon.
Thank you.
Hello, Team McLaren, Harv and Jaxie. I'm going to start off with Jaxie because I think you finished ahead of Harv, if my brain can work tonight properly. Great battle between you and your teammates for the end then. And keeping it relatively clean till the end with penalties as well. But I mean, a P7 and a P8, this is definitely going to give you the confidence boost you need for season 6, correct?
Yeah. Towards the end, I found that me and Harvey were just close to each other, so I just said, let's just have some fun battles to just finish off the race, basically. And then we ended up catching a few people, so. And then we just kept on going and going, and then Harvey had some damage, and just decided to stay out. But yeah, I'm happy with the positions that we had, and hopefully we can get some more points in the actual season.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, obviously, last season you were both subject to what I'm going to call bad luck. Of course, Curse, the commentator, famously with Twin Barrel J, just praising Carl and unfortunately having the result of what happened there. But it's great to see that the rewards are starting to come in, and as we've been saying for many weeks now, that you and Harv, we do see you putting the time, the practice in. Generally, we see you obviously working with the likes of Polkart and Pulu and the Flag to Flag boys that race with us, and it's great to see. So going then over to Harv. Harv, I mean, first of all, you didn't disconnect, which was great. So you didn't have any internet issues after the concerns.
It was close.
It was close. Okay, that's definitely going to be that's definitely spiced it up then. But I mean, you and Jaxie had a great battle, and at one point you looked like you were in a sandwich of Aston Martins between Safso and Marku. But how'd that race go for you? Harv?
Harvey, you dead?
Maybe this one has come. He's there. Okay.
It went decent, especially with having no practice throughout the week. I've had a lot of things going on with school, and a snowstorm hits 5 minutes before the race, so my internet goes out. But to hop straight into the track with 2 weeks of no practice, I'd say I did pretty well, especially keeping up with a few of the guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously with drives haven't had a lot of time to practice, unfortunately, as we normally do. Jeddah not being one of our race tracks for season 6, but I mean, a great result for you and Jaxie, and this should obviously, I mean, I'm hoping this gives you the confidence boost going into season 6. Of course, Abu Dhabi next week, first race of the season. How are you both looking forward to
it?
Track race there quite a bit before, so it should be an interesting one.
Yeah, it should be alright. Last time we raced there, we had a wet quali, so yeah, and I DNF'd last time, so hopefully I can finish this time.
Well, awesome. If you can, I'm sure you'll get the finish. I'm sure you'll both get a great result. And obviously, we have got the Constructors Battle as well as teams. As Rage joins us into McLaren then, so we'll move swiftly on to Rage. Rage, out of nowhere, being stone dead last at one point to P9. How on earth did you do it?
I had a good lap. I think I can't remember what my actual time was. Was it like at 30, maybe 31?
Yeah, it was a 30.8, I believe. It was 1.5 seconds faster than the lap before. So great.
Oh, no, it's more than that. It was like 2. It was 2 seconds or something. It was crazy. I was up loads.
Well, you were at least 1.6 off Safso, and you jumped him, so it was definitely 1.6 at least, to be sure.
I didn't jump him in. He started in front of me though.
Yeah, you jumped him at that point. He jumped again, but at that point with the place, you got it back from that.
Got ya. No, I just had a good lap. Done no practice, literally just no practice whatsoever. Just jumped on with Saf and Maku, and they just helped me for a little bit of the setup. I did like probably maybe 2 laps. Yeah, it was all right. The race wasn't very good. My race pace was really slow. I think me and Harv were roughly about the same pace. I think it was Harv. No, sorry, Harv, if that's wrong. I can't remember. Someone else did a 1:34 fast lap like me. That's about where I was, to be honest.
Yeah,
well, I think that's 30.
Oh yeah,
I can't remember, to be honest.
It definitely wasn't Harv then. It was someone else.
Yeah, I think it might have been Rusty.
It was Rusty, yeah.
Rusty had great pace at one point. Unfortunately, I think he hit the wall slightly, lost the end plate, and had to come in further with pit stop, and it ruined his race, unfortunately. But
my race went well, though, to be fair. Apart from it didn't at the end. It was all good up until the second safety car. The first safety car, I had a sideways spin into the second sector, and then that just lost me all of my ground on everyone. I was at the back of the top 10 anyway. At one point, though, I was with friggin' Big Boy Bill. Me and Big Boy Bill were together at one point, and he came second. What's up with that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He started second. Unfortunately, I think he just dropped the car after turn 3 on the exit on the left.
Okay.
He dropped it on his own, I believe. I don't think he had damage to anyone, as far as I'm aware, or contact. And then somehow went from second down to almost 10th. Then somehow his race pace is insane. We're going to speak to him in a little bit as well. Just hit him when he got on the soft tyres was so fast, and it was great to see. But of course, we should say, and we should wish you a very happy birthday, of course.
Thank you very much.
I'm sure you're probably part drunk, which doesn't help as well.
I'm not. I haven't had a drink.
Really?
I'm slightly ill, so I'm not drinking at the moment. So.
Well, get well soon.
Thank you.
And have a great rest of your birthday then, as I'm going to go.
I will.
With the other boys. But a great job from you all, and we'll see you next week, of course, for the start of season 6.
Yes, I'll be in the booth. Yes.
Lovely.
Yes,
I can't wait to have you back in my
booth. See you later. Oh, slide straight in.
Absolutely. Hello, Alfa Romeo boys, Bill and Andrews.
Hi. Well, I'm very sad to say this, but Bill just disappeared. So
he disappeared. Okay.
Speak to him.
Well, we'll speak to you first then, Andrews. I mean, I'm not going to lie, the penalties obviously don't help, but the race pace just seems to come alive for the Alfa Romeo boys. I mean, obviously we saw your teammate go from P2, unfortunately having a bit of an incident and dropping back down. But I mean, it was a P2 and a P5, was it at the end?
I think
so.
You
finished 5th?
Yeah, P5.
I think Matthew got the jump, didn't he? So, but I mean, it looked like a great race overall. But how did that go for you then?
Well, I got the wing damage, and that just kind of ruined my race. Yeah, I got like 6 seconds of penalties on that because of that.
Oh, that is such a shame. We did see a lot of drivers just clipping the wall or just cutting the line, getting a penalty, damage, and just ruining their race. We saw even Safso, who normally keeps it nice and clean, tidy. He unfortunately had one corner cut coming out of the pit and had lost so much time with wing damage. It was just unfortunate for him. Obviously, he's a season 1 champion, so everyone's prone to it. Of course, you know it's not just a track. It's a track specific thing. Of course, it can happen. So. But I mean, obviously, season 6 then starts next week, and we do have Abu Dhabi once again in the Middle East. We're going to be racing. It's going to be fun for all. How well do you go around Abu Dhabi, and do you think you're going to be able to get a good result again?
Don't know. I haven't done a single lap on this game, I think, so it's going to be interesting. Probably. I heard that the curbs are insane, so...
Yeah, the curbs definitely bite in Abu Dhabi. I can definitely vouch for that. I've done a couple of races there, and they do hurt if you get on the curbs. So be careful of the curbs. But hopefully, though, this will give you the confidence then that you need to have a great result next time out. If Big Boy Bill does come back, just let me know, and I will come back and chat to him because I really want to chat to him after that race. So I'm going to go jump down, speak to Rusty, and then hopefully we'll get a chance to speak to Bill. So have a great evening.
Same.
Rusty!
Hey.
That race then, I guess it was a race of 2 halves for you. I mean, at one point you looked really good, you were getting loads of positions up, you were getting places, and then I think you had unfortunate contact with the wall, as a lot of drivers did tonight, unfortunately. But I mean, the race pace was definitely there. It was great to see. But how did that race go for you?
Well, first 15 laps or so, I'd say it was perfect. I was I was up to like P7 at one point, and I could hold that. But then one thing led to another, and then by the end of the race, I had pitted 4 times for new wing.
Oh, that is such a shame. I mean, we even saw the likes of Safso come in for a new wing. He'd had a bit of damage. We didn't expect the likes of Torza crashing out as well. That was just unfortunate for Torza. So we know that this track definitely can bite. I mean, it's so narrow with the walls. We've seen even the McLaren duo were bouncing off the walls a couple of times and somehow didn't get damage for Jaxie. But obviously, next week then we have got the Abu Dhabi. We're going to be starting season 6, and I mean the race pace you showed tonight, you should definitely be on a good confidence boost. I mean, obviously the race didn't go the way you wanted to, but if you show that race pace again in Abu Dhabi, I expect a really good strong finish for you. So, how did you go in Abu Dhabi? Do you find it a good? Do you find it a good track for you, or do you find it a bit of a bogey track?
I'm gonna be honest. I find it a bit of a bogey track, but I think I'm really pleased with the race pace I managed to get out of today, and hopefully I can use it as momentum to try and get a couple of points.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, I obviously wish every driver the best of luck, and I'm sure you'll be able to go into Abu Dhabi. And if it is a bit of a bogey track, I'm sure you've got a week now between now and then, and I'm sure you'll be able to practice with a lot of the drivers and the boys and girls in SXS. So obviously, if you can get the most out of it, then that'd be a great job. And if you can get a decent result, that'd be brilliant for you, of course. And obviously, we did see a little battle, Rage F1 was saying before, between you and Rage, so I'm sure that was pretty fun too.
Yeah. It was interesting because going into the final corner, I was always ahead of him by a car length, and then I just managed to overshoot the brakes and clip the final wall.
Oh, that is such a shame. We saw a couple of drivers. I think it was Jaxie, unfortunately. I mean, somehow he didn't hit the wall, but he broke even later than some of the drivers and just about managed to squeeze back in. So it's insane. I mean, I haven't raced around Jeddah yet myself. I've yet to turn a wheel around there. But as a new track, it definitely seemed really insane. Not necessarily the best for overtakes in terms of opportunities, but just a really fast street circuit, and it looked very good. So then, I'm going to wish you the best of luck for Season 6. Hopefully you'll have a great result, and we'll see you then.
Thank you.
Is Bill back?
No, I'm gonna tell you as soon as possible.
Okay, I'm going to have to wrap up the stream, unfortunately, so I'll have to speak to him post-race at some point, and we'll try and put it in the Discord, but I will catch you in Season 6 then. Have a great week.
Okay, see ya.
Bye-bye. So then that is going to do us for here in Jeddah then, of course. Next week is the same time, same place here, SXS Racing on Twitch, and of course, twitch.tv/rage_F1. Join us then for me and Rage back in the commentary box, and hopefully Twin Barrel J should be joining us as well. It's going to be a trio, I believe, hopefully, if we can get it to work, if we do have space for it, of course, it depends. But yeah, so join us next time. I've been HardyF1, you've been great, and we'll see you for Season 6 in Abu Dhabi next week.